Hi, friends. Welcome to tonight's live, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or on Facebook. Let me know if you're watching, if you can see and hear me. I'm Anne Lewis. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based on the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, Australia. I'm very, very lucky with where I live, as you can probably imagine. Tonight I'm sharing what I call a really easy project. Now, what I've been trying to encourage you over the last couple of weeks is even if a project looks difficult, doesn't mean that it is. And as you know, making creativity easy is my catch cry. So that's my job, is to show you how to do something that really brings the wow and make it easy for you to recreate. So tonight I'll show you the project that I did as a sample, but I'm going to change it up because I want you to realize that you can just use what's in your stash. And again, I'm doing this as a craft along. So yes, you can grab your designer series paper, your cardstock, and you can make your own card. And I've given the instructions both in the description and also on Facebook. Now, the good thing about this is that it is so flexible, and I find that when it's flexible, you're going to actually make it. In other words, you can use what you already have. But if you really like the two projects that I'm going to showcase tonight, you can also find all those products in my online store. Now, if you're watching live, say hello, let me know where you're watching from, let me know what you like. Whether you're going to make this card, I always like it when you interact with me. It makes my night a lot easier and I have a lot more fun. Don't forget, even if you're watching on replay, I still read all the comments, and it's a lot of fun reading the replay ones as well. If you like tonight's project, don't forget to like and subscribe to either Facebook or YouTube or both of them. Hi, Glenda, how are you? Now, let's go down to my desk so you can see what we're making tonight. Now, this isn't exactly what we're making, but this is the sample that I did. So I'll bring it up a little closer to the camera. So I used, now I'll just lean over here and get well, I didn't actually even use the stamp set, but this is the stamp set. Oh, yes, I did. I used for the sentiment. However, I used the Jolly Delivery suite, which is in the new mini catalogue. Sorry, I need to bring that down just a little bit. And I don't. And really, in a pop-up card, the magic is actually on the inside. So let's see the magic. Now, as you see, the front cover is really quite plain, well, relatively plain. Have a look at the pop-up. Whoop, whoop. How cute is that? And I've actually, let's grab something, a pokey tool. So I've got some designer series paper on the inside. This paper actually comes with die cuts, which I will show you. So I just popped out two of the die cuts. I know I've got a puppy here, and you know I'm a cat person, but I did sneak a little pussy cat down here, and obviously a wicked little pussy cat, because you can imagine who that would be. Left paw prints everywhere. But it's a really simple card to make once you know how to do it. And you can see this is the pop-up mechanism. So as I close it, it closes really cleanly. It's not very thick, as you can see there. And you can use so many of your designer series papers for this, or you can do your own patterned. I mean, you could blend a background and then do some stamping. There's so many things you can do with this. I've kept it fairly simple because I like the idea of using our designer series paper because it creates a really easy wow without me having to think too much. Hi Rhonda, hi Myrtle, and hi Marianne. Hi, so let's get started. I'm going to show you what I used for this one, because if the next one that I'm going to show you is a very traditional one. This one is just a lot of fun. So I want to show you the paper to show you how actual easy it is with this paper. The paper's called North Pole Delivery. So it's part of the suite. Now, I'll just, so it has this is the, so if I say side A, side B, so you've got some, I don't even know what they are, dogs and I don't know what these little animals are, but maybe you will. And then these are the little little die cuts that come with it. So all these pop out. As you can see, I've popped some of mine out to have a bit of a play with them. But there's 2 sheets of these. So there's the sheet of houses and letterboxes and little decorations, and this one is full of really cute animals. So you've got bears, you've got dogs, you've got cats. Gotta say, I'm a little disappointed that the cats aren't the main features, but the bears and the dogs do get a pretty good look. So for all you animal lovers, this makes a really easy Christmas card, and you're going to see that. Now, wait a minute, I've got all these little pieces everywhere. And this is another sheet. All those little pieces fell out. I haven't put them away in plastic yet, so I could show you. So not only do you get die cuts, you can actually die cut these out as well. And if I show you the die cuts, comes with 2 really interesting things. Not only will it cut out some of these animals, I'm just trying to, so this one cuts out a bear. Let me show you, perhaps not like that. So you can see how that cuts out the bear shape. This one cuts out the pussycat. Pretty sure it's a pussycat anyway. I haven't packed all these things up. Where's a little pussycat here? It does cut out a pussycat perhaps on another sheet. And this, I had to play with this not so long ago. I don't know. Let's go on to the next. That's the back. I actually use this in my sample, and I'll show you where. Let's put these little. So here's the pussycat one. I know. So is that the? No. I know. It does do it, I tell you. Not that one. I know. I did it before. I checked it. I know. So what have I done here? Anyway, it does do. These do cut out, and I'm just having a brain drain here. Maybe I'm on the wrong page, but I don't think so. I know. So there's the pussycat one. I'll just put it up there so you can see there's 2 different patterns of pussycat. So it cuts that one out. I know. Maybe I just need to be patient. And there's the other one. Yeah, see, I just need to stop and check. So it's kind of like a beagly dachshund. Is there such a thing as a beagly dachshund? Anyway, you get the idea. It's kind of a mix of a dog, but it also comes with this little, I suppose I'd call it a treat holder, but it makes a box. And I'll show you that in the catalogue in a second. You can see, I love this side as well. So you don't have to have the really busy side all the time. Oops. Let's put this away before I lose little bits of it. And now it comes with a stamp set, which is basically some really nice sentiments, some of those animals. So there's your stamp set. or Jolly Delivery. I love the little die cuts in this because it made my life really easy to make that cute little card, and it didn't take very long. Let's just put those over there. Whoops. I don't want to lose all what's in here. I'm going to put this away. Now, this is a really big shape. Just remember when you're putting it back in the case, if it sits at an angle. Why would I say that? Because I had to think about it, and I had to fiddle a little bit to get it to fit in. Don't want to lose any of those. So it's such a cute set. Just going to grab the catalogue. I'll show you what it looks like in the catalogue. Now, for those that are looking for Kiko, she's a little band at the moment. She decided to play in the craft room. Rightio. Now, so this is the actual suite, and it's called North Pole Delivery. And I'm hoping you can see how gorgeous these samples actually are. It comes with also some white fluffy trim, which I do have here. Comes with these embellishments. So it's pretty good. So it includes 2 sheets of pre-cut design. So it's a specialty designer series paper. Now, so let's have another look at this. You can see I've added a little die cut there. Didn't have to die cut it out. It comes in the pop outs. And this is how the card looks. Look at those cute. They would obviously go on my envelope as well if I'd decorated an envelope. Okay, so let's show you. Now, this is the measurements of what we're going to do today. Now, if you can go along with me, I won't be going too fast, but just remember, if you do fall a little bit behind, you can always come back and watch this on replay. So, my card, I'm just showing what we've got here. So we're going to be using this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous paper. So this will be a far more traditional card. Now, the first piece that you will need is, well, I'm obviously using real red, but whatever matches your project. It is 11 inches by 4 1/8, and I've scored it at 5.5 inches. So I'm just going to check my measurements. And then I've also got, and this will be the piece that I work on first. I might just put these over here just out of the way. So this is my basic white. So it is, looking at, I'll just show you. So there's my red. It hasn't, it's just, I've used the real red again. Then we've just got to cut this piece here. So the basic white. So it is 10.5 inches. Let's just check that I've done this right. 10.5 inches by 3 7/8. So 10.5 inches. Let's check that. So 10.5 inches by 3 7/8. So when you place it on the inside here, you will see that it leaves a border. Right. Now, with this piece here, we're going to score, and I'm hoping I put this in here somewhere. I think I added it on the description. So we're scoring. Where are we? Oh, I left the score off that. But we're going to be scoring at 4 1/4, 5 1/4, and 6 1/4. Now the 6 1/4 is a little tricky. You've got to open up your extendable arm, and because the quarter is right on there. So it looks like that. Oh, wait a minute, I'll show you. It's a little hard to see. Grab your bone folder and you're going to fold it in the middle. Now, when you've got your bone folder, you can always square things up if things didn't work out perfectly. You're then going to, wait a minute, let's have a look at my, so this is going to pop up, this is going to fold over, this is going to fold over again. So you can see I've got my mountain on the inside and my valley on the outside. So grab your a Heinz variety. Hi, Gail. It is those animals are a bit of a Heinz variety. Let's put this over here. So this is going to sit up like this, and this is your pop-up mechanism. And let's see how this is going to work, because I'm going to put this together so you get rid of the hardest bit first up. So I've made a 1/8 of an inch border all the way around, as you can see. So let's just add some adhesive. Now remember, this is going to open up like that. So I want to add it to the bottom. And I'll go edge to edge, but I don't want too much adhesive because I don't want it to pop out. So the edge at the bottom, leave it folded over. Just line it up so it's balanced here, side to side and bottom. Don't worry about what's happening at the top because it will just automatically look after itself. And this is where the multi-purpose glue, which gives you a bit of wiggle room. And I just do that. Now, so there's my pop-up mechanism, but it's, how do you get it perfect? Well, that's pretty easy because you're just going to keep this closed down, add glue to this side. And you see me use this technique a fair bit. So add adhesive to this side. Now you could decorate this sheet, some of this, beforehand, but oh, that wasn't how I meant to do that. Don't take any notice of what I just told you. What you're going to do is I've applied the adhesive around the edge, then I'm just going to close it and it will magically work out in the right place. And if it isn't, you can just shift it a little bit. Rightio, so there we have. So now you can see my pop-up shelf here. Now I've got 2 pieces. Actually, I did do this a little different before. That's okay. We can work with it. Got to find my little pieces. Now, on my cardstock, I have a contrasting piece of designer series paper, which is 3 5/8 by 3/4. Now, this time I'm going to be using the old olive squares. So I've cut it at 3/4, but let's then cut it at 3 5/8. Let's get rid of that adhesive. Let's keep so I don't confuse you. So 3 5/8. I need 2 of these pieces. Now, it would be better, let's be honest, if I had to put these, before I stuck it in, I put these actually on here. All right, I didn't do that. It's not the end of the earth. We can fix that. Hi, Renee. How are you? So let's attach these. The nice thing about this gorgeous paper is it's got that foil finish to it. So Let's, as you see, this is why you apply it first. Got a bit excited, I did. Oh, so that's going to go there. Now it's hard to hide this gorgeous side. Now we're right to go. So you want to make sure those edges line up nicely. I know. Now a piece goes here. Now, let's work on the front just so that you can see how this comes together. So I've decided this is going to be my front piece. And I'm cutting this. Now I've got house pattern, but that's, so I'm cutting this at 5 1/8 by 3 3/4. Because I gave a description of this one, so you can see it's got the house. So I'm cutting this at 5 1/8 and 3 3/4. And you'll understand why. Now, do I think it matters on how I cut this, which direction? No, I don't. So you can choose, but if you've got a one directional piece of designer series paper, you might just have to be a little bit more careful. This is 5 1/8 by, what does my measurement say? 5 1/8 by 3 3/4. 3 3/4. Let's get this right. So that's going to sit there, but I'm going to put an old olive layer underneath it to make it pop a little bit. Now that old olive card base is 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. Let's cut this 5 1/4. Maybe just not 3 5 1/4 this way will go. Saves a bit of cardstock. And 3 7/8. Okay. So look how gorgeous that now looks. So I've just put a little old olive border to make it pop. So I can stick that down. I'm not going to add any ribbon. Look even how gorgeous the back of that is. I love that check. In fact, I love all this paper. I'm going to be featuring this paper at my class in 2 weeks' time. The last Sunday of the month. And how gorgeous does that look? Now, with some of your designs, and in my original one using the North Pole one, I put the same paper on the front as I did on the inside. So that piece, and then I added the same piece here, as you'll see. So I use that paper and I put that paper there. But on this one, I just felt it would be a little nicer if I added this on the inside, because my little die cut that I'm going to be using is going to be this. So it kind of matches a little bit. Now, this piece here, I come back to my list here. So my second piece is 4 inches by 3 5/8. So I've got the 3 5/8, I think. Yes, I do. I've just got to cut off at 4 inches. Now I could line this up and pick which part of the pattern I wanted. I don't think with this paper it really matters. I don't. So let's add this here. So it's very pretty paper, and it is very traditional. But And you can see why you could use whatever paper you actually have. So remember, this piece is 4 inches by 3 5/8. So let's put that there. Rightio, so we've got that on the front, and then we're going to open that up. But I want something pop up here. So out of this designer series paper, this one here, I actually die cut. Wait a minute, I'll show you. There's some of these cut out the designer series paper. Let's turn that around. I'll just show you. So I know with all that gold, it's a little hard. So it cuts out these images on here. And I think there's about 16 of them in a pack. So how easy is that? I didn't have to fussy cut it. All I'm going to do is decide which is my up, that's my down. Now this is quite, I hadn't realised it's going to hang over just a little bit. I may have to trim that off. So I only need to put the adhesive on the bottom because half of it hangs off, which gives it that pop up. I know you can see that now. Yep. So I'll just put some down the bottom here. I'll err on the side of caution, not go up halfway. Now, just line it up in the center. Now, what I try and do is not have any of the die cut below that line of designer series paper. Look how easy that is. Now that you can see overhangs just a little bit. Let's just trim that off. And it depends on how your die cuts are, whether you have to do that or not. Now you can see how easy this card is, but how gorgeous it actually looks. Now, I want to work a little bit on here. I'm going to need your help. So I've got a whole lot of options because I hadn't made this card, hadn't made a sample of this card before we started out tonight. So I used some of the dies. So we have a few options. So I need you to vote. So we have 5 different options, and I'll show you. Well, actually, we'll keep it to 4. So now I know there's a delay. So I'm just going to scroll down so I can see your comments. Put my adhesive away. Now, I'm going to probably use this gorgeous sentiment, which comes from that suite. So it comes from here, and it's which one? Sending Love and Joy. I've used it so much, and it comes with this gorgeous die cut. Look at that. And these little ends you can actually break off if you like, but I love them. So I'm going to be using this, but maybe if we change, I may have to change to white, but I don't think so. So do we want a white there with that on it? Do we want, so white is number 1. Number 2 is just a contrasting pattern. Could do that. Put that on it because it's got that secret sea color behind it. Or I could pick up, so 1, 2, the cloud cover, which is what the leaves are, and I could add that. Or if you like, you could add the white, or I could do the gold with the red on it, or with the white and just stamp the sentiment on it. So what do you think? Need some ideas, otherwise I'm going to have to pick one. While you decide that, now we'll add out of this paper, I'm going to fussy cut just a couple of these little red flowers. If I can find some scissors in here. There we go. So let's cut ones that are close to the edge. Now, if I'm fussy cutting, I always cut out a little piece first. We've still got to decorate the inside yet, or finish decorating the inside. Here's another little piece here, because we don't want to waste those, even if we're die cutting those bigger pieces out. Okay. And what else? Maybe this one? Let's just see how that works. Actually, I think I need a little white one. So we must have a white one that's near the edge that we can't use elsewhere. Okay, let's try this one. Now, if I don't use all these, I just throw them back in my case. I don't. So what's everyone say? Secret C. So Glenda has said Secret C and red or gold and red. Ooh, Secret C, which is this one, and red. What does everybody else think? Come on, I need your help. Rhonda says, they all look good. I think I prefer Secret C with the red cinnamon. We're going with that. I've had 2 votes. So if we're doing that, now I've lost one of my little flowers that I cut out. What happened to it? Oh, it got caught up here. Right. So I think I need at least one of these little white flowers. Now I'm not going to, fussy cutting doesn't have to be perfect. Just telling you, does not have to be. Most of the time, so you can see, I always move my paper. Oops. I've got a little white flower now done. Now, there were little dies that did these, but I wanted to keep the leaves on this one, so I didn't use it. And to be honest, it was quick enough. Oops. Even with my dodgy hands and wrists, I can still fussy cut. So I'm not going to get too carried away here. I'm not going to do too many. I've already fussy cut, I think, the ones for the inside. We'll see. I don't. So I've got this here. Going to add a little white. What do you think? One of the little blue ones? Let's see. I'm not going to. Thanks, Gail, for dropping by. Oh, I looked up and did a little wild cut there. So I'll have to change my design a little bit. I was going to leave those little leaves on, but we'll add these little leaves. See, you can't do 2 things at once. Sorry. Just making that not such a straight cut. Righto, let's get rid of. There's 1, 2. I must have a white one somewhere. How do these things walk? Can you tell me that? There's a little white one somewhere here. There's a little white one. Righto. Get rid of this off the desk. Righto, let's put this together. There's lots of different ways you can put this together. I'm doing a quick and easy version. So I'll pop this up. Now, I won't put a lot of dimensionals on the back so I can slide those flowers under, which is a quicker and easy way of doing this. Peel these little backs off, which I find right throughout the house. I don't need to stick this together. Oh, just trying to line this up and get it. I know. So just needed a little bit more. So let's add these. I think I'm going to put this down. I could pop it up, but I don't want it to be too thick. So I want it to be able to go into the mail without any issues. If I add too many layers that are popped up, I will have a bit of trouble. Now, I could put it up there. I could put it down here. I'm going to actually put it in the center. For me, that just works a little better. And these I'll have to pop up. So I'm going to put that one there. So cute. That one there. Let's see where this other one went. Here it is. I'll put that one. Going to have to cut those leaves off. They don't work. After all that effort I went to. I could just leave it with one, but I kind of, it's that old story. You've got to do more. Who else does more and then regrets it? This might be one of those moments. I'm going to grab some mini dimensionals. Where am I putting this? Just there. I'll put that. Put that there. I've still got this little white one, which I might just sit up there. You could spend, I think, days arranging these. Righto. There we go. So there's the cover. We finished that. I'll just give you a look so you can see what it looks like. Righto. So still got a little bit more to do here. Not a lot. Now I have I had a little die cut that can go in the bottom here. I wonder what happened to it. I had one already cut out. Oh, here it is. Righto. So I'm just going to a bit of glue on there. Put that there just as a little, so it's not too plain. As I said, you can just play. There's so many different options. Put this right on the very edge. So that just pops it up a little bit. And I need another. So on the front, I've got Sending Love and Joy. I'm just going to be using this little stamp from Jolly Delivery because I like it because it's a different font and it's such a cute one. Oh, actually, or I could use Merry Christmas. Oh, I don't know. Let's do the Merry Christmas one. As you can see, you can always see which ones I use because they're already stained just a bit, which doesn't hurt them. And then I'll grab a little block. On this card, I think I'm going to have to use, what do you think, real red? I think it's a real red option. So I've chosen Merry Christmas and Happy Wishes. We have so many Christmas sentiments that are all gorgeous. Okay, and there we go. Card done. Absolutely. I mean, I love it because it's full of rich textures and so easy to get that pop up. And it's a little hard to see how this is going to pop up. So you can leave it, you can see it actually has, it does stand up by itself, but I'd actually lean it against a wall or something to keep it nice. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually, some people don't like seeing the, you know, your letter here. So you could actually put that on the back if you wish and decorate this perhaps a little bit more. So the two cards, totally different. This is a fun, casual, animal loving one, whereas this is very traditional. And they both work out really well. They're both in a similar color scheme though. So which card do you like best? Which card would you make? Would you make the puppy dog one or pussycat one, whichever, the animal one, we'll call it that. And or would you do this one? Would you add a little bit more or take a little bit off? Let me know. Leave a comment so that I know. Oh, wait a minute. One more lace. You can't, you got to add a little bit of bling, which I did add to this one. So I added some cloud cover bling. This time I'm going to add, maybe, well, I can't add, I've got some gold here, down the bottom here. So let's just add just a little bit of bling. I'm using up all my retired embellishments at the moment. Let's not go too complex. Keep it nice and simple. Rightio. So which card? So Glenda likes tonight's card. So what does everybody else think? Leave a comment. And even if you're watching on replay, let me know. So there's the two cards. They're completely different on the inside, but they're both cute. Rightio. Thank you very much for watching tonight. I appreciate it. And I will see you next Wednesday night. Don't forget that I have a class in 2 weeks and we're going to be using this gorgeous designer series paper. And we're going to be making I'm going to call it a gift box, but it's going to be full of goodies. So full of cards and gift cards. So it's going to be a fun day. And it's just going to be one of those that you can relax into. Rightio, everybody. Thank you so much. Now, sorry, I'm just reading Rhonda's card. The animal card is now on my make it list. Are you coming to the card day on Saturday? Yes, I am. For those that may not know, demonstrators in Queensland have got a get together and our local one is on Saturday, but I'll be going to the Sunshine Coast North Brisbane one, and I'm not sure, Rhonda, you might be going to the Metro South one. Thanks, everybody. I am looking forward to Saturday, actually getting together and crafting and having some fun and meeting some more demonstrators. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.